Hello and welcome to a new video, and today's we're going to take a look at the wild area. Why? Because this event is going to start tomorrow already in Nagasaki, and very soon as well for us as well. Like I think next week basically it's going to be around everywhere. And this wild area event is going to introduce a new Pokemon that we kind of have to talk about, because it's very important for you to be up to date. I will very likely make another video towards the Go Wild area just for us, for the global version, but I still kind of want to showcase this real quick, because you have to be aware this Pokemon is going to be out very soon for certain players, for the players that are going to go to those wild areas. And the thing is here, I'm not too sure if you're going to be able to get those already from outside, because all event gameplay is exclusive to ticket holders, here as you can see as well. I am not sure if you can join someone with a ticket in order to receive an invite to one of those raid events, which I think you might be able to do. And this would allow you to, even outside of Japan, outside of Nagasaki, to get already this Pokemon here, the Grimmsnarl. And Grimmsnarl is a Pokemon that you need to get for PvP. But you know which Pokemon is actually better than Grimmsnarl that you need to get for PvP? It's right next to it. It is Morgrem. Morgrem here is actually going to be way more interesting. Morgrem is going to be the Pokemon. This is actually the one that you kind of want to build. But we're going to talk about it, and we're going to see why a little bit later on. And also why this might even change in the future. But yeah, this is going to be now, the event is going to be available in Japan. Of course, nothing for us really, which is alright, because you're going to have the global one, which is very similar very soon as well. Of course, they're going to have better shiny chances or whatever, and they're going to have some certain other Pokemon. But we're going to also get, for the first time, the Shadow Darkrai, which is going to be available for the, going to be an interesting Pokemon. Sadly, it doesn't get a new move, which it kind of needed. We're going to get this new Beware, which is kind of funny as well. Like, it's a Pokemon that I like, at least. I'm going to mostly showcase it because I love costume Pokemon. But, yeah, we're going to have the Mighty Pokemon coming back as well, which is going to be, again, available the next time as well. Yeah, basically, when we have it globally. Those Pokemon can go up in the global event up to level 45. Here, up until level 50, you can have a fully maxed out Pokemon that you can catch during this event that are very like the XL or XXL, and you're going to be able to have very high attack, defense, and HP ratings. I think the last time 12 was the minimum for them, which was ridiculous because I caught, I think, like 4 or 5 hunters just during this event. But of course, those are limited to only certain Pokemon, which I find kind of sad. Here again, like the event itself, of course, not that crazy interesting for us right now. And I'm kind of trying to pull up the little things that are going to be interesting for us as well, because we're going to get very similar spawns as well during the global one. And here, for example, the Mighty Pokemon, where a lot of them are going to be cool. Also PvP, I thought last year were a little bit better. We had Dragonite and whatever, where I got one as well, which was kind of nice. But mainly what is interesting for us is we get Darkrai and Shadow Raids, which is kind of cool. We're going to get this Beware, which is kind of funny as well, but we're mainly going to get Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl is the Pokemon that you kind of want, as well as Morgrem, and I will show you why. Those two have great coverage generally. Those two have a great moveset. You're going to have here Sucker Punch, you have Foul Play, you have Play Rough. Those are all kind of working out quite well together. As you can see here, for the Grimmsnarl, you want to have a 1-15-15. For the Morgrem, you know what's kind of funny? You want here a 3-15-15, but if you go for the level 51, you actually also want a 1-15-15. So at the end of the day, both of them are kind of doing very similar things here in terms of what they do. They are both Dark and Fairy type Pokemon, as you're going to see here as well. But one big thing why you want Morgrem over Grimmsnarl is the overall ranking here. If you are not familiar with that, Bulk is king in PvP, so what you kind of want to have is Pokemon that get the most amount of overall stats. And as you're going to see as well with Morgrem, you're going to get 160 more overall stats while having the exact same moveset as the Grimmsnarl. So just Morgrem is generally full stop better than Grimmsnarl currently. Then if you're going to take a look at Grimmsnarl's other move that only Grimmsnarl can get, not Morgrem, which is Power Punch. The rest of the moves that I think completely the same, but here we're going to have Power Punch on this Pokemon. And Power Punch on Grimmsnarl is going to make a bit of a difference in certain scenarios. And we're going to talk about it now. And also, before we actually start talking about this, is in the future, Grimmsnarl might be the better Pokemon, because this Pokemon learns a signature move that's a Fairy type move, which is called Spirit Break, which will debuff the opponent's attack in Pokemon Go as well whenever it's going to get released, which is generally speaking a very cool move to get. It is not yet out. It's going to take a while. It's mostly a community day move anyway for Grimmsnarl. But this might change this Pokemon to be the most, like one of the strongest Pokemon generally, which I do think that Spirit Break is going to do with it. But it's just going to make this Pokemon better than Morgrem then. Currently, Morgrem is going to be better for the foreseeable future. Anyway, if we're going to take a look here real quick and why this is the case, let's take a look at the zero shit scenario. Here we're going to have Power Punch in the bottom, of course, normal Grimmsnarl, and then Morgrem in the middle. Morgrem is going to be the best here. Winning 21, losing 20, going to have a better positive average rating and being quite a bit stronger than Grimmsnarl because of the superior bulk. And we see as well the matchups you're going to be able to win instead. And those are going to be quite important, like the Shadow Marowak, like the Golisopod, the Gastrodon, the Greninja, the Murkrow. All of them are very top meta Pokemon. And so it's quite important to have the Morgrem over the Grimmsnarl. In the one-sheet scenario, you're going to see again, Morgrem is just going to be straight up better. Losing against Blastoise because they do less damage, but winning against so many other Pokemon is so much worth it. So again, this is going to be a Pokemon that you kind of want to have here. By the way, I can actually change this, which is going to change a little bit of the stats here as well. Now it looks maybe a little bit worse because it's going to go up now against better IVs on the opponent's side, but still, it is best to have the Morgrem compared to Grimmsnarl. Now let's go take a look at the two-shit scenario with a Power Punch version of it, because all of a sudden, this one is taking over by quite a bit. The Grimmsnarl with Power Punch is going to be quite a strong Pokemon to have. And as you're going to see as well, you're going to be able to pick up matchups now against like something like a Bastion, which is kind of funny. Against Clouds, they do a lot of fast move damage. Against the Empoleon, you're going to have coverage now as well, which is kind of funny. But yeah, you need to have kind of Power Punch in order to deal with those Steel-type Pokemon. But we're going to take a look, at the Great League itself. We're going to see on how they kind of perform, and we see as well that Morgrem is going to be generally considered the best. Going to have some positive matchups. Grimmsnarl here is going to be alright as well, but Morgrem is kind of where it's at. Of course, Grimmsnarl is currently just available. By the way, you're not going to get one for Great League anytime soon, unless, of course, until the event is going to be released in a week. So that's going to be quite soon still. Unless you're going to trade for it, here you're going to get a level 20 from those Dynamax, the Gigantamax raids. If you put 555 in all of them, for example, which is the lowest, I think 444 is actually the lowest that you can get through Best Buddy Friendship, you're going to see here that you can actually get one below that level, but it's a bit more difficult to get. If you want a team for it, here's a team. Of course, Morgrem as well as the Grimmsnarl are both kind of interchangeable. They do very similar things. And as you're going to see here as well, that's going to be a very solid team. I think Nidoqueen together with the Morgrem is really great. Because Morgrem is going to struggle against, those Poison-type Pokemon that Nidoqueen can deal with. But like generally, Nidoqueen Double Dark, I think, is really good in the current meta and kind of underrated Pokemon generally, the Nidoqueen in the current meta here. For Grimmsnarl, the Great League here is another one. We have now Grimmsnarl with Power Punch, which I kind of want to showcase. We have the Steelix, Steelix and Sasop here, and the Venusaur on the back. Steelix here, so get out the Fire-type Pokemon, basically. Like something like the Talonflame while still punishing it with the Thunder thing. Venusaur is very good together with the Grimmsnarl. Just that's kind of, again, this Poison Dark Core is just very, very solid. And as you can see here on paper, this team looks really amazing as well. There is no Pokemon that actually can completely counter it, which is kind of funny. And so that's a good team to run, I would say. But how was it for the Ultra League? Of course, Morgrem is out of the question here for the Ultra League. It's not a good Pokemon there at all. But Grimmsnarl is going to be very interesting here. Grimmsnarl is going to be able to get up to level 36. And as you can see here, it's going to be very solid. And we're going to see this well down here. If we're going to take a look, let's go for the better IVs again. For the other Pokemon here, we're going to see that, generally speaking, the Grimmsnarl here is going to be very solid. He actually tests out if attack is going to help you. It apparently doesn't really. It's not really making any difference there at all. But this is actually against, I think, the Great League meta here. So that's not going to help us out generally, is it? Here, as you can see, this is going to be a bit better there. Yeah, we're going to see a win against Blastoise, which is going to be alright. This is going to be kind of what you're going to be up against anyway. And as you can see as well, we're going to be able to go into the two-shot scenario here. This is showcasing that Grimmsnarl is definitely going to have a lot of play. In the Open Ultra League, it has a very interesting typing that nothing else can really compare to. Like having Dark and Fairy together is a very good typing generally, only having a few weaknesses. And with that, we are going to be in a position here that to say that basically this Pokemon is going to be top meta. And again, if we're going to get a Spirit Break, which is only going to be a matter of time, this Pokemon is going to be even better in the GO Battle League. So in Ultra League, as you're going to see here, this Pokemon is going to perform quite well. Has a lot of good matchups, like the Moltres, like even like something like Feraligatr. You're going to be able to win most of the matchups here. You're going to be able to resist most of the damage from Zygarde, which is really important for you as well. Very good anti-Dragon type Pokemon that's not going to rely on like really a Fairy type fast move damage there. So it's going to be very unique, and I like this Pokemon a lot. And if we want to have a team, here's one that kind of covers the weakness of Fairy-type Pokemon quite nice. Again, we have the Skellige Chase Up, the Nidoqueen in the back. Nidoqueen we already saw already in the Great League teams. And as we will see here as well, this team is going to be very solid in this meta. Lapras as a weakness, even though you resist the fast moves, you're going to be fighting against Lapras and 2 shields, absolutely. And against Bellybolt, you're going to have still Nidoqueen. You have basically no real hard answer here. The worst is actually the Gastrodon. That's definitely the worst Pokemon here to deal with for this team. The rest you're going to be able to deal with. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Definitely be prepared for it. It's going to be very good for you. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.